everyone. Welcome back to Pipes, Tobacco, and Whiskey. Today we are doing our impressions on a whiskey, and we have chosen 2 Stars Kentucky Bourbon. 2 stars, don't let that fool you. That's not its rating. It's basically named after the municipal flag of Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh.
So that's where they got the 2 stars. So let me give you a little bit. Oh, by the way, what are we smoking today to pair with this bourbon?
Okay. I am smoking a Maple Street by Sutliff. It's just kind of like the one tobacco we did, Autumn Evening by Cornell and Deal. It's just a Maple Street.
Okay.
I'm smoking the same thing that he is smoking. I thought it was either between this or what y'all did last week that I recommended, that McBaron.
Virginia number 1.
McBaron Virginia number 1, but I wanted to try something with a little flavor, so I went with what Nathan does.
So I kind of went a direction of kind of matching flavors.
Yeah.
And so this is my first try of the Seattle Pipe Club Plum Pudding Bourbon Barrel.
Oh, yeah.
So this is my first taste of that. We'll see how it pairs up. I thought maybe it might do well. All right, so a little bit of background on 2 Stars. It's named after the municipal flag of Louisville, Kentucky. We said that already. It's made by the Sazerac company, which is also the company.
Very Old Barton.
Yes, also the company that did Very Old Barton that we've done before.
Mm-hmm.
It's made at their Barton 1792 distillery, and this is considered to be Sazerac's house blend of bourbon. It's sold at Total Wine and Spirits. Got it for just under $20. It was $19.99. It's 43% alcohol, which is 86 proof. It is aged for at least 4 years. And some other things about it is that it scored a 91 with wine enthusiasts.
Oh, wow.
And also won a gold medal at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. So, I thought, okay, this might be a good one for us to try. So that's how I picked it up. Sometimes this is confused to be a Buffalo Trace product. It is not a Buffalo Trace product. So just to clear that up, okay? All right, guys, let's get into it. Let's see what we think about the color.
Very deep amber color.
Yeah, on the description that it says at Total Wine, it says it's a tawny amber.
Yeah.
Tawny amber. That's pretty sophisticated.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah. It does have a little bit of gold highlights in there.
Yeah, it's definitely not as dark as some of the whiskeys that we've tried before.
Look at the legs. There's multiple legs, but it's very thin legs all the way through.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into the nose and see what we think about it. It's not real strong.
Not offensive at all.
No, and you don't get that alcohol burn like some of the other bourbons that we've tried before. It's strong of alcohol, so it can like singe your nose hairs.
If you're not careful with this one, though, it's very light and mellow in comparison to stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the body on this is not full. It's light to medium. It's really a sweet smell.
Yeah, it's like a honey oat kind of smell to it is what I'm getting.
I thought my maple I thought the maple stuff would blend very well with it so far. Yeah.
Lots of vanilla, lots of caramel.
Yep.
Almost like vanilla wafers.
I can see that.
Does have that oak and that kind of leathery background.
Yeah,
to it.
the like a barley.
I get a little bit of spice in there as well.
Right at the end is where I'm getting the spice. It's like
Yeah.
a peppery kind of. You can't really put your hand
Like a
on it.
baking spice to me, like cinnamon or an allspice kind of. Do you smell it? I get a little touch of honey.
Yeah, he
I,
said
I do
honey
honey.
early,
Yeah. I've been eating honey with my breakfast for like the past 3 weeks, so I mean, I can pick it out.
Definitely some fruitiness in there. Way back in the back, bourbon has to be at least a 51% corn mash.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that this is right at 51%. And then there's also maybe a touch of wheat in the background or barley. You said barley?
Probably barley.
To me, this is a very typical bourbon nose. It has, all the things that most bourbons show in the nosing. All right, well let's give it a taste. See what the mouthfeel is.
Now, this one doesn't numb anything to me.
Slightly at first, but it's so
Well,
quick to go
just
away.
like when it hits,
Yeah.
maybe. But to me, I
Yeah.
don't feel any numbness with anything.
It's pretty light.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there is a little bit of a spicy tingle to it, but it's not strong at all. It's pretty creamy.
Mm-hmm.
The flavor is pretty light. There's not a whole lot of depth in the flavor.
No.
What do you guys think about the taste? What kind of things are coming out for you?
Sweet. I can taste the sweetness from it's either the corn mash, or the corn mash and the barley mash. Because I would say maybe some wheat or rye or something that they use, but that stuff tends to be not as sweet.
Yeah, I can taste.
I can taste sweetness. Now
It's small, but when you said rye, that's what the kind of. There's not much harshness to it, but the little bit that there is, I get the rye.
Yeah,
To me,
sweet.
I lose
mostly
some of the sweetness from the nose to the palate. It's not near as sweet tasting as it is smelling. There's more of a bitter oakiness at first, rather than the sweetness that hits you in the nose.
Mm-hmm.
I do get a little bit of the caramel and the vanilla, but it's pretty light. And it doesn't happen in the front of the mouth, it happens more in the back of the mouth.
Yeah.
I do still get a little spiciness. And in the taste, it's more cinnamon than it is anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like an annoying amount of cinnamon.
But not like pepper.
There is
or
a
spicy
sweetness to
cinnamon
it for
taste.
sure.
Yeah, there's definitely a sweetness to it.
But it's not like I said, not like the nose. I do get a little bit of an alcohol burn there. Okay. Also, maybe a touch of nuttiness. Just a little bit. Just to hit like an almond kind of taste in there.
And I just let it sit in my mouth to see if maybe it will ever get that hit or anything, and nothing, man. It's smooth.
very smooth one.
Yeah.
In comparison to, we did Evan Williams a long time ago. In comparison, this is a lot smoother, a lot more doable.
So you guys are getting a pleasurable experience
Yeah.
from this?
It's not too
Yes.
bad, yeah. But then again, I don't really spend a whole lot of money on bourbon. I usually get some cheaper stuff. So, in comparison to some of the other stuff that I usually drink, this is very, very smooth.
I'm
very nice.
comparing it to the same company that makes the very old Barton, and to
This
me,
is the same company, yeah.
yeah, but to me, the very old Barton is a way better bourbon for less money.
For the value, yeah.
I mean, that was like $13 a bottle. This is almost $20, and the flavor profile on this is just kind of flat.
I get
It's
that bitterness
lighter,
as well,
but the
too.
thing that I would say is this is smoother to me than the very old Barton. This is creamier. It goes down easier. I think that's the only thing I would contrast the difference in taste. The very old Barton was very tasteful, very good. I think this one is tasteful, but it's smoother.
So what you're saying is that the lack of complexity with this may lend itself to being a better mixer bourbon,
Yes.
and the very old Barton was a straight bourbon, maybe?
I would think so, but I don't know, because the very old Barton could be overpowered because of its pungency. There was a bit of, alcohol forwardness with the very old Barton. So if you used it as a mixer, some of the other stuff that you mix in with the drink would calm it down. Whereas this one would be like it would almost be non-existent if you were to do a 50-50 mixer to me with something, because of how timid.
Yeah, we didn't try it
How
with
timid
a
it
mixed
is.
drink. You know, those other ones I tried in that Italian Gentleman in the summertime. In the wintertime, I normally don't have mixed drinks. I'll drink most of my stuff straight. So I guess, in all fairness, we probably should have tried it that way. But I don't know. I don't know. To me, the taste is just kind of an average bourbon taste with no complexity to it at all.
I will say this: does it warrant it to be $7 more expensive than the very old Barton? To me, no. But there is a simplicity to it and a lightness. Like I said the other day, I tried it 3 different ways. I tried it straight, like we are now, with a drop of water, and not over ice, but over the whiskey stones. And man, that was amazing. Cool. Just cool,
so cold with the
cold, very smooth, and I mean, but
I definitely wouldn't put ice in it because it's going to water it down.
No, it's going to water it down.
Yeah.
But I had actual whiskey stones, just 2 whiskey stones and 1.5 ounces of this, and it was cool immediately when it hit my lips. And whatever burn that you got, just pleasant creaminess all the way down.
Well,
that's
that's interesting. I mean, there is a difference of opinion here as to what kind of a value this might be then. Yeah. All right. Well, anything else to add to the flavor profile?
You know, this is my first time trying it. It seems like you guys have gotten acquainted with it over the last week. This is my first one. While it is smooth and it is good and I'm having a pleasurable experience, I would say that drinking it a little bit more, I get the bitterness that you're talking about. There's just a little bit of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not a bad whiskey at all. You know, not in any way. But I think I would lean more towards the very old Barton. I'm kind of with Dad on this one.
Yeah.
Then again, I'm a Jim Beam dude, so I mean, I'd rather just go get a bottle of Jim Beam and just stick with that. But
for the same price,
yeah, for the same price.
That's what I would say. I don't think it warrants it being that much. But having said that, it is very good.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's jump to the finish. What do you guys are thinking about the finish? Let me try it again.
Oh, I guess if you say so.
It's kind of a warm finish.
The hint of spice right there.
Little bit of spiciness. Yeah. It's steady. It doesn't peak or it doesn't go down. It kind of stays the same. It's steady all the way through. That spiciness is kind of a peppery finish. Still get that oak characteristic from the nose to the palate to the finish is staying there.
And it's not really a long finish, you know. It doesn't sit forever, but I mean, it is definitely longer than some of the other stuff.
It lingers a little bit. I'm still feeling it, and the way it hits me, like I don't know if you guys, when you feel the finish, goes from the front to the back. This one goes from the back to the front.
Yes,
I hit it. I feel it in the back of the tongue.
Yes.
And then it works its way up through the tongue on its sides, and then I even feel a little bit on my lips.
Yeah, and that's what I
kind
like.
Of a buzz.
That's what I like about it, because everything else I tried before this immediately hits me right here at the tip of my tongue and the front of my mouth. But this one it doesn't. I don't know. It almost feels like it doesn't assault me right when I take a sip out of it, because that's what I'm.
It's a different experience from most whiskeys that I usually.
Yeah, I'm just looking for more. Cool. I'm looking for more. Right. And since we've been doing this show, we've had others that provided more.
Yeah.
At the same or a little price, a lower price range.
That's my only pet peeve.
So give me a little bit of your overall thoughts about this one. I mean, what are you thinking?
Overall, I think it is a fantastic bourbon whiskey. I really enjoy it, but I'm very partial to the fact that I got to try it as a very cold, smooth bourbon. And I really enjoyed it at that point. Now, at this price point, I would agree. I think I would rather have
something else that we've already had.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Just if it was $16.99, I would go, yeah, I'm going to give me some 2 stars.
Yeah, sure.
But at $19.99, there are some other very competitive bourbons at that price point that I feel hold the staple on the market right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. Jim Beam.
Beam. Sometimes even 10,
Jack Daniels.
Yeah, sometimes even 10 Cup will go down to $22 a
You got to catch it at the right time. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
when
but
you catch it,
10 Cup's not a bourbon.
yes, it is.
It's a Colorado whiskey, isn't it?
No. 10 Cup. It's a good. 10 Cup makes two. They make a Colorado whiskey and they make a Kentucky bourbon.
Ah.
They make two, and 10 Cup makes a Kentucky bourbon that sometimes will go on sale at our local liquor stores for $22.99. And when that happens,
Get 10
I jump on it.
Yeah, jump on 10
because
Cup.
normally 10 Cup sells for $28, $29 a bottle.
So, you got anything to add about your overall opinion to that?
Overall, I would say this is a good sipping bourbon, probably an excellent mixing bourbon. I just feel like at $20 a bottle, it is not worth the investment. Now, if it were to go on sale like some of the other ones, jump on it. Jump on it.
What about you, Colt?
Well, so this is my first one. This is my first glass of it. That's pretty good. You know, it's a really straightforward, no nonsense bourbon. There's nothing that's going to just be, oh, well, there's, this flavor profile is more. No, it's just a pretty straightforward bourbon. It's a little bit on the lighter side, a little bit of bitterness. It's a $20 bottle of bourbon. It's not going to change your life. It's going to sit on the shelf, and it's pretty dang good. And if you want to spend $20 on something, try something new. If you want to say, hey, I'm tired of Jim Beam this month, let's do something different this go around.
If you have Total Wine.
Yeah. And if you could find it, give it a shot. Why not? It's a good, smooth, clean little bourbon.
I do want to add that how hard it is to find some of these.
Well,
Total Wine has got it all in spec.
Look, I read where there's some Total Wines in Minnesota. So, if Total Wine goes to Minnesota, it's got to be in other places. So it's got to be something that you can find. Of course, some places might have a little more difficulty finding. Okay, so my thoughts. It's okay. It's all right. If I had to grade it, being a teacher, if I had to grade it, I'd give it a C. It's average. I think it would work well with cocktails, but there's nothing original about this that makes me go, oh, this is something I'm going to keep on my shelf.
Original. That's probably a very good descriptor of it.
This tastes like back in the olden days when you kids were really small and we didn't have a lot of money. I used to buy Old Granddad bourbon. This is like Old Granddad, except Old Granddad is a heck of a lot cheaper than this is. And so, if I had this two bourbons that's tasting the same, of course I'm going to go with the less expensive one.
Yeah.
To me, the nose on this is the best part of it. It decreases as you consume it.
Yeah.
And so, although the nose is important, it's not the most important. And so, that's why I only give it a C. It's not very complex for me. It's just average. So,
you said Old Granddad back when we were kids.
Do they still make that?
Well, just as a disclaimer, back in the 30s, things were cheaper back
get
then.
out of here.
That's true. That's very true. Good one.
Yeah, no, seriously. I haven't drank it in a long time, but I can remember it from when there. Like I said, I'd rather have the old Barton at a lesser price from the same company.
That's one thing I will agree with you at. When there are cheaper options that are just as good, let's go for those.
Quick thing, am I crazy or is the bottle really similar to the very old Barton bottle?
Yes.
Okay. And that's the Mark bottle.
Yeah.
And that's because it's made by the Sazerac company.
I
guess they're not changing their bottle. Like, heck with it, man. We're going to
different label. That's
we'll
all
just
we're
slap
doing.
a different label on it, use the same bottle.
Hey,
Yeah.
you got to save money somewhere. I
It's
can
cheaper to
appreciate it.
change the printer ink.
All right, well, there you have our opinions on this particular one. I mean, for Nathan, it was a pretty decent whiskey that he would probably buy again.
It's the first one that I've tried with my whiskey stones, so I'm partial to it.
Cool.
But it's the first one that I've tried with my whiskey stones that I've gone, wow, it gets so much smoother when it's cold. Whereas all the other things, when I put them in cold, it's just like, oh, it's the same thing, just cold.
Yeah. Oh. And Colton, you were like, okay, but
Yeah.
I'd rather buy the little less expensive one.
just for me. But
And-
it's still good.
And for me, I'd definitely buy the less expensive one than this one.
I'd like to try very old Barton Cold.
Yeah, well, you should. I mean, the price point on that is excellent. So
Yeah, it's
you,
worth
should,
buying.
you should try it again.
Cool.
All right, well, there you have it for 2 stars Kentucky Bourbon. That's our opinion. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. We're not doing a tobacco today.
No.
What are you thinking about the pairing? Do you like that maple one with this?
I think so. The sweetness of the maple adds to the sweetness of the bourbon
Yeah.
to me. So I think it's a very good comparison. Some of the tobaccos that I'll smoke with the bourbon, like an English or a Virginia, will bite on the areas that the bourbon has already singed with its alcohol burn. So I think this one, with the fact that this one doesn't burn and this is very sweet,
What do you think?
pretty good.
I'm with Nathan. It was really good. There was a few points whenever I was drinking the actual whiskey, and some of the taste from the sweetness of that got with the sweetness of the bourbon. That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So it's a good pairing for
Probably
this one,
why I
for sure.
poured me a second glass,
There
because
you
I'm
go.
enjoying
Yeah.
myself right now.
I'm curious, and maybe later this evening I might try it with the Virginia, just for funs, just to see what happens. But
Don't.
it's really good. No,
No, don't.
Okay. Well, we'll see. What about you? How's your pairing?
I am a big fan of, that's my number one tobacco, plum pudding.
Yeah, it's good.
Plum pudding special reserve is the best
Yeah.
for me. This one's not hitting on my cylinders. There's something about the bourbon barrel aging that is giving it a chemical taste, an alcohol kind of taste. Of course, alcohol taste because of the bourbon barrel.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I expected, but I'm not sure I like this, guys. And I would really like to hear your opinion on that, because this, when it came out, everybody was making a big deal of this bourbon barrel plum pudding. And there's also the rum barrel Mississippi River from Seattle Pipe Club,
You
too.
I enjoyed that one.
You and me just looked it up. It's gone.
Yeah, you can't.
It's
Smoking
not
Pipes
bad.
is out, so I don't know if
I
you're
tried
going
a
to get
little
any
bit
more.
of that. That one's not bad.
But I don't know. I'll have to smoke it some more, and I'm probably going to need to dry it out a little bit to see if I like it. But
Yeah.
with this pairing, I didn't necessarily care for it. So anyway, all right. Well, that's it for us, guys. If you've got any comments, send them to us.
Yes.
We want to hear from you. We want to hear if you've got any suggestions as to what bourbons or what whiskeys that we do and what pipe tobaccos we do.
Yeah.
Next week we're going to we're going to do a review on the one
Yes.
you guys are smoking,
yes,
right?
yes, we are. We are going to be doing a review on the Maple Street by Sutliff.
Okay. And so that's on the boards for next week. So get your friends, please share your experiences with them with this show. Let them know about us, and make sure that they get on there and watch us. And we'd also like to hear from them as well. So, but if that's it, guys, I appreciate you coming by today.
Cool.
And we're gonna move on to
Yeah.
next week. Yeah.
Cool.
And don't forget, make all your piping moments count, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
We'll take care. Bye-bye.